Bulldogs forward Jackson Topine has launched legal proceedings against the club after claiming he was forced to endure unlawful corporal punishment for being late to training. The Australian revealed details of the $4 million lawsuit lodged with the NSW Supreme Court in an explosive series of reports on Tuesday. The 22-year-old's legal team claims its client was subjected to assault and humiliation, which ultimately led to him taking mental health leave. The Bulldogs will defend the claims in court. The board unanimously agreed that it would vigorously defend the club and its employee Travis Touma against the claim lodged today by a former player. The club will be making no further comments at this time, Chairman Adam Driassi said in a statement. Topine was reportedly forced to wrestle every member of the Bulldogs squad because he arrived late to training, with Canterbury's head of performance, Travis Touma, inciting the punishment. The rising star, who had played 16 NRL games at the time, was forced to endure shark bait, with 30 to 35 inches of his teammates watching on after they were called back to the wrestling mats. The events occurred on July 18, 2023, and according to the statement lodged to the courts, Topine suffered psychiatric injury, deprivation of liberty, humiliation, indignity, physical exhaustion, physical discomfort, anxiety, embarrassment and fear after the session. It is claimed teammates tried to help Topine but were told by Touma things like, "Don't let him up. If he's down, jump on him straight away," and "Don't congratulate him or help him. He deserved that. He was King late." As a result of completing the performance of all wrestling matchups required under the wrestling direction, Topine required assistance in performing limited physical functions, including standing and walking, the court statement read. Topine reportedly seemed fine when he left training but began to cry when he entered his home in front of his girlfriend and his parents. The only place to watch every game of every round live with no ad breaks during play is Fox League, available on KO. New to KO, start your free trial today. Hughes, who signed a 4-year deal with Melbourne in 2022 worth reportedly more than $800,000 per year, is contracted with the Storm until 2026. The Kiwi international started his career at the Titans while also playing for the Cowboys before establishing himself as one of the league's best halfbacks in the Storm system. But now, according to the SMH, Storm powerbrokers have moved to make sure Hughes remains in Melbourne for the length of his career. Storm powerbrokers have reportedly sat down with Hughes' management to broker a new deal, with reports suggesting he could sign until the end of 2028. Parker though did not mention any specific Queensland team that could be a leading contender for his signature, should the rumblings prove to be true. "I know his wife is from the Gold Coast and at this stage, it's just rumblings that I'm hearing," Parker added. "It remains to be seen if it's before his term of contract or not, but watch this space. We'll just see what happens or unfolds in this space moving forward." Manu's shock Roosters return revealed as $500,000 plan surfaces. Roosters superstar Joey Manu could be set for an NRL return after his stint in Japanese rugby union as early as round 12 of the 2025 season. That is according to the Daily Telegraph, who are reporting Manu's contract with Toyota Verblitz only runs for one rugby union season. Therefore, Manu will reportedly be free to sign with the Tricolours or any other NRL club and feature in first grade midway through the season. The Japanese rugby union season reportedly starts in early December and the competition's grand final is scheduled for late May. The Roosters will reportedly leave $500,000 in their salary cap for next season ready to pay for Manu for half the season. Despite a potential NRL return being on the cards, Manu could also then sign with a Super Rugby club with hopes of playing for the All Blacks. Former Rooster and current Warriors centre Roger Tuivasa-Sheck played 33 Super Rugby games and featured 3 times for the New Zealand rugby team. However, the allure of taking over from James Tedesco at fullback could entice Manu to return to the Roosters. The NSW skipper will reportedly retire at the end of next season, with his current contract expiring at the end of the 2025 season. If he signs a contract to return in 2025, it would also become his 10th season at the Tricolours club. Braith Anasta and Paul Kent have paid tribute to one of rugby league's true characters after the sad passing of Manly, Blues and Kangaroos legend Terry Hill at 52. Hill died of a heart attack in the Philippines at 52 in a shocking moment for rugby league. "Some very sad news today, Kenty, that has rocked us all," Anasta said on NRL 360. "Yeah, terrible news. Real shock, Braith. Terry Hill, obviously, who we all knew, you played with," Kent said. I've known Terry most of my life, actually. I remember playing schoolboy football with him. So, known him a long time, 52 years old, in the Philippines, told his wife he was not feeling well and had a heart attack and sadly died. So, it's really rocked a lot of people, Braith. Really shocking news. Anasta remembered Hill showing no mercy when he came up against one of his idols in Hill in his early career. I played against him, admired him as a young fella, following him playing for New South Wales and Manly, and then actually played against him when I was 18 years of age, one of my first ever games, and he was ruthless, Anasta said. More NRL news. Jimmy brings. Door shut on Lomax backflip, young gun may make Tigers wait. Universally loved. Rugby league in mourning as icon Terry Hill dies at 52. Late mail. Roosters double injury blow, Dragons flyer out forcing reshuffle. Reserves wrap. Bright Dog's future is special, guns stun. Braith Anasta and Paul Kent pay tribute to Terry Hill. Braith Anasta and Paul Kent pay tribute to Terry Hill. Source. Fox Sports. He was a tough competitor and he was chirping away on the field at me, but it was just awesome to be able to play against him. Earlier Anasta spoke to foxsports.com.au about his memories of playing against one of his favorite players. I looked up to him a lot as a player, Anasta told foxsports.com.au. I love the way he played. It's very sad, actually. I'm in shock by it. But, yeah, he was. I love what he played for Origin, but I actually played one of my first ever games against him at the showground as an 18. I think I was 18 or 19, and he terrorized me. He followed me from one side of the field to the other, and he was a known sledger. And I was kind of like, wow, you know, like, I was a kid, and he was like someone I looked up to, and I'm thinking, this is, you know, all the stories I'm watching at first hand. It was pretty crazy. It was awesome. He was sledging me all game, followed me all around the park, and he was terrifying. But, yeah, it was actually a funny experience. I talk about it all the time. It's a sad day for all of us. Kent paid tribute to a remarkable career in rugby league for Hill both on and off the field, and he was involved in some of the most memorable moments in the game's history. I first bet Terry was 15 years old, and he was like that from the day he was born, Kent said. He was lippy at the time at that age. He carried it through his whole life. But one of the great competitors in rugby league, you see him here with Gordon Tallis, which became one of those iconic moments in rugby league, particularly in State of Origin. And just look, he was afraid of nobody. He won the competition with Manly in 1996. He toured with the 1994 Kangaroos. Also well known, he was the player that challenged the draft back in the early 90s when the rugby league brought in the salary cap in the draft. He was drafted by Eastern Suburbs. Jack Gibson actually went after him for Eastern Suburbs. He wanted to go to Western Suburbs and play with Warren Ryan out there at the Magpies. So he challenged the draft in court, won the case. The draft has still not made a comeback from that court case. But Terry was the guy that did it. Dragons, Roosters make changes to Team 326. Played for South Sydney as a junior. He was one of the great junior South Sydney teams that came through that just full of half a dozen of them went on to play first grade. Some of them, like Terry, played representative football as well. I think the likes of Jimmy Dymock were in the side as well. Scotty Wilson was in the side. Then you go back after Souths, he went to Easts for a year, as I said, went to Western Suburbs after that. Then Bob Fulton saw what he had inside him, got him over to Manly, toured with the 94 Kangaroos, came out of that 96 premiership with Manly, and then finished at the West Tigers. So he had quite a career. Kent also paid tribute to his career post-football and his ability to entertain the masses. He also then became that character after his career with Everybody Picked Up on the Lisp, and he had those episodes with the Footy Show, and the Lowe's commercials and all the rest, Kent said. So he became a bit of a character around the game. And many people remember him for that. A lot of young people, that's what they have of their memory of him. But shocking. It was unbelievable, Braith. The phone just lit up today, and nobody could believe it. 52 years old. He'll be sadly missed. He was one of the great characters of our game, Anasta said. Shocking news. He'll be sorely missed, and from everyone here at Fox League, our thoughts go out to his family and friends.